Yeah, that's awesome. Can I ask a question? You just said raw and real. Sometimes we try to put a bit of sugar coating on stories. I've found, and just what I got from you said, that simply just being raw and real and diverting off a bit, even with my acting coaching, I don't sugarcoat anything. I'm really honest with the actors that I'm training, you know, and they actually appreciate it. They don't like it, but they appreciate it because then they get, okay, that's the real thing. There's no BS behind this. And do you find that with your stories?
Yeah, I mean, I think for a long time we're very good at sugarcoating things and making things sound vastly different to what they actually are. So to have someone that just spits it out as they feel it makes people go, hey, that's exactly what I'm feeling, or that's exactly what it feels like to me. So, yeah, I think if we're in alignment with who we are and we just show up as who we truly are, then we live a happier, healthier, more fulfilling life. And in turn, so do the people around us. So it's, yeah, there's a lot of people that relate to my story. There'll be a lot of people that relate to Doug's and to yours, Andy. So, you know, well, I'm just trying to encourage more people out in the world to share parts of themselves, because if we all share our learnings and our experiences and our the adversities that we've overcome, well, then this world's going to be a much better place. But unfortunately, a lot of people shy away from telling the truth of who they really are as a fear of judgment, shame, stigma, bias, embarrassment. So the more of us that can spread all of the things that we've ever been through and the overcomings of them, the easier someone else will find it to live through this life. And life isn't easy, never has been, never will be. But if we share more parts of ourselves and pick up the learnings that we need to along the way from everyone, you know, I can learn from this conversation, I can learn from any conversation I'm in. So that helps drive me forward. And again, my book's not revolutionary. My story's not the best story in the world, but what it is just one kid that said, you know, I'm going to start sharing this story and hope that somebody feels more hopeful about the life that they're living. And in turn, my life's become a lot easier. And in turn, many thousands of people that have heard my story have too. So, yeah, as I said, I would love for everybody to get out there and share little parts of themselves, because I know that this world would be a much easier place for people to navigate through.
And you can do that on social media, you know, like it's so easy to reach the world, you know. And sorry, Doug, I'm just going to dive in one more question because I'll forget because I'm old. So, and I'm not going to share the actual events of this story because I think you'll agree it's probably not the correct place. But I do remember you with Kevin Hines at a school event, and you spoke up with something that made everyone probably turn white. But there was a young kid in the audience who came up to you and shared something which was quite horrific. But if you hadn't opened your mouth, it could have been horrific circumstances, right?
Yeah, I'll never forget that. That's for sure. I know the exact story you're talking about. And yeah, there's been a lot of people throughout my journey that have, especially going back, you know, I've been speaking on a public forum now for 8 to 10 years. And when I was telling these stories 8 to 10 years ago, people were like, you can't say that. You can't do that. Or people going, oh, you know, you shouldn't say them words. You shouldn't articulate things that way. Now everybody's doing it. So, you know, there's got to be those people that put their hands up and ain't afraid to be shamed or mocked for what they do, and they pave the way for others. And I like to think that that's my advocacy has created some of those pathways for other people to feel more comfortable to share parts of themselves unfiltered. There's safe ways to share things, of course there is, and we do things in a way that's not harmful or triggering or traumatic for anyone, but also what we don't say isn't shared with the world, and what isn't shared with the world just makes it that little bit harder for somebody else going through the same thing. So, you know, the right words at the right time in the right order to the right audience could be the words that change or save somebody's life. So as long as we can always remember that, hopefully we step into our vulnerabilities a little bit more often and help people find the healing and the hope that they need to continue.
Yeah, so true, mate. Thanks.
Yeah, so Matt, what opportunities did the book open up for others that read the book?
Yeah, I think much similar to what I've shared already. I think from, you know, it's only been out for just over 2 months now, but I think from the feedback that I'm getting is that people are more confident in who they are, and people are more confident in understanding that they have what it takes to either help themselves or help others. Again, as I said, and I've said a couple of times already, it's not revolutionary. So the opportunities that it presents and offers people is the fact that once you read and put down this book, you understand that, hey, you know what, I can do this, whether that's helping yourself or helping somebody else. And that's all I want the book to do, is to create that opportunity for other people to understand that I'm no different to everybody else. You know, I'm just another bare bum in the shower. So we can go out and share little parts of ourselves and learn from other people's journeys. We can all be the same, and we can all make a difference in the lives of everybody around us. And, you know, it's not about me. It's never been about me, but by sharing little parts of myself, you open up those, like you said, opportunities for other people to do the same thing. So hopefully there comes a time where I get to sit at the back of the auditoriums and watch everybody else speak and learn from everybody else. And that would be a blessing, because it's never been about me wanting to do it, and it's never been something that I enjoy doing, but it's been something that we know that makes a massive difference on the lives of many people. So yeah, it's been nice to hear that people feel more confident in their ability to make a difference.
Yeah, that's powerful.
So yeah, have you gotten good reviews on it so far, Matt?
We have, yeah. We're just in the process of making sure that they make their way onto Amazon so they're seen, but we've had very, very good reviews. I'm still waiting for the criticism. I thought I was very, very nervous after I released the book. You know, there's a lot of people in the field that don't like what I do and don't like my rawness, and don't like the way I articulate things and go about things and the way I shake trees. That's okay with me. So when I released the book, I was sitting there for a little bit of time in a vulnerability hangover after I poured my heart into the book, expecting somebody to turn around and throw it back at me. But so far, so good. I haven't had anybody critique the book in that way. It's been really positive, and I'm very grateful for that. But you know, if anybody's listening and read the book, I'm more than happy to sit through the constructive feedback of the book. But it's been very nice to hear people have been very receptive and have got a lot out of the book. It means that it was worth it, because the book writing process, I don't know what everyone else is talking about when they say the book writing process is easy and it's nice and it's seamless. Mine was tough. It put me in an absolute rut, and you know, I'm out of it now. But yeah, it's not something that I would. I'm just glad it's been worthwhile. Is what I think I'm trying to say, is that, you know, the more people that come forward and share their confidence in themselves and understand how they can look after themselves, well, then all of that I went through over the last 18 months writing it has been worthwhile for me.
And look, Matt, that's great, because I'm like you, vice versa. I like to be bluntly honest with people, especially when I'm coaching or mentoring, and I'm pretty sure Doug will attest to that. Like, he's had a bit of a hard time sometimes, but hey, he takes it on the chin. You know, he gets knocked down like if he's in a boxing ring, and he gets up and he'll come back for the next round, then he'll come back for the next event. He just keeps coming back. That's why he's doing what he's doing. And I must admit, sometimes I am tough on him, but I tried the other approach and it wasn't working. And you know, excuse me, sometimes, yeah, you've just got to be blunt and raw. And I understand there's people out there that say, look, yeah, that doesn't work sometimes. Okay, I'm not going to argue. It probably doesn't. But sometimes it shifts people right off that comfortable zone into an uncomfortable zone where you can suddenly be comfortable being uncomfortable, so to speak.
You're spot on. There's a lot of people in the mental health field right now that use their mental illness as a commodity and as an excuse. Not a fan of it. So, you know, I know that hope, I know that something better is up ahead. I know that for everybody, but sometimes people need a firm foot up the arse to get there. So, you know, I was one of those people. I've worked with a lot of those people. You know, I lost Sean in 2016, and his mother, Beck, she's a beautiful lady. Her transformation after grieving and going through the process of losing her son to suicide has been so inspirational. Now, for the first 3 months, I don't reckon she moved or left the house or wanted to do anything. But I got to the point where I held space for that. I comforted that, and I was there for her through it. But it came a time where I was like, okay, Beck, we've had our time of sitting and doing not much with this grief. Now I'm going to kick your ass, and we're going to get through this together, and we're going to do it left foot, right foot, one day at a time. I'm going to get a little bit firmer with you. And so I got firm with Beck, and I told her that I'm not hearing any more excuses, that we're going to move through this, and we're going to get through it, and we're going to come out the other side and make him proud. She went and lost 50 kilos. She's healthy. She's happy. She's living a fulfilling life. She travels the world now. She's just returned from Hawaii. She's done some public speaking gigs for Mindful Oz. She's one of our lead volunteer coordinators. You know, all of this stuff wouldn't have been possible if I didn't get firm with Beck. And it's because I knew what was inside Beck. I knew what she had there still to give, and the potential that I could see in her. The same way many years ago when my life was saved by people, they could see a potential in me. So sometimes you do have to be firm with people, and that when they get to that place of wellness, they start to understand that Matt being firm or Andy or Doug being firm with me was them operating out of a place of love. And so it's not always you see that when somebody's jumping down your throat in the first place, but when they get to a place of wellness, they can step back and appreciate that jumping down the throat might have just kicked me into gear. So, yeah,